Hey guys, I'm Wesley and welcome back to Future Specs, and in this video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 Grail comic books that I want in my PC. So a few weeks ago, Joey did a video on his top 5 Grail comics that he wants in his collection, so if you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out after this. But anyways, let's just get right into my top 5 books. So these books are in no particular order of top, 1 to 5, except I kind of put them in order of value from highest to lowest and kind of how hard it's going to be to get these books. And so first up is one I talk about a lot on the channel, and that is Iron Man 55, which is the first appearance of my favorite character, Thanos. And it's also got the first appearance of Drax, Mentor, Star Fox, and the Blood Brothers. So obviously this book has kind of cooled down now after Thanos is kind of done in the MCU now, at least as the main villain. But there's still rumors that Star Fox and potentially Mentor could show up in Eternals or other projects, so I mean it's still a good book to grab, but I mainly want to get it for the Thanos' first appearance. And it's also the first major comic book work of Jim Starlin, who is my favorite writer and artist, especially for Marvel. So the second book is Avengers No. 1, which is the first appearance of the Avengers as a team altogether in one title. And I really want this book because the Avengers are really what got me into comics with the movies and then reading the books and stuff. So it's just going to be really awesome to have this book. And it's one of those blue chip books that everybody kind of wants their collection and is only going to go up in value too from here on out. So it's going to be a great one to be able to grab and have in my collection. Then next up, similar to Avengers, is Fantastic Four No. 1, which I know Joey put on his list. But I haven't really read many Fantastic Four comics, although I really want to get into them, so if I can find the omnibus or something, I'm definitely going to pick it up to read these. But I really want this book because it's really the first main Marvel superhero book, and it really set up their universe and their future going forward after they changed from Marvel to Timely Comics. So it's just really cool to get the first book that really revamps the company and all their stories going forward. Then number 4, which this is probably the hardest book to find on this list, is Tally Ho Comics, which is the first comic book work of Frank Frazetta, who is one of my favorite artists outside of and with comics. Just his fantasy work and oil paintings and all that stuff is absolutely incredible, and he's one of my favorite artists, so it would be really cool to get his first appearance. So in this book, he penciled a short 8-page story, and around this time, they didn't really keep track of who worked on various books. So it was kind of hard to track down this one, but it's widely known as his first appearance. And it's a hard book to find because it's from the 40s, and so this is what I'm going to be looking for a while. And number 1 on this list is Marvel Comics 1, which is the first book published by Timely Comics, who would later become Marvel. So this would be an awesome book to have in my PC just because of the history behind it and the fact that it's Timely's first comic book. It's also the first appearance of the Android version of Human Torch, so that's cool too. But this is probably going to be... But this is a Golden Age book from 1939, so it's going to be hard to get a copy of it. Or if I do, it's going to be very beat up, but I'm fine with that as long as I can get a nice copy of this book for the collection. That would be really awesome. So those are my top 5 Grail books that I want in my collection, and hopefully I'll be able to knock one of them off my list by the end of this year. So keep an eye out for that, because I'll definitely be sharing and telling you guys about it. And keep an eye on the channel, because we've got a lot of big stuff coming up and a lot of plans, so you don't want to miss any of that. And I'll see you guys in the next video or live show.